Very good afternoon and welcome to Hartingford Berry Park, 90 minutes live in association with Easter Hearts Radio with me, Peter Hill, giving you full live commentary on the Ismir League Division 1 South Central clash between Hertford Town and Harlow Town. Two local rivals. Very good afternoon to you if you're from the Harlow area and listening to our coverage for the first time. I can give you the team news in just a couple of moments. If you're a regular to 90 minutes and 90 minutes live, you like to know that the donuts have arrived. So we're in business here on a cold afternoon, it's got to be said, but sun's been out, plenty of blue sky, and it's a lot drier than this time last week. And we're also a lot lower down than we were this time last week when we were up a gantry at Chalfont and Peter. Here we're in the stand at Hartingford Berry Park, right on the halfway line. Let's give you the whole important team news. Then both teams to make just one change from the sides that lost in midweek. Hertford went down 1-0 at Staines, of course. They'd have David Ogbonna sent off. That ban, we understand, doesn't cut in until after 7 days, so he's going to miss the game against Waltham Abbey here on Tuesday night, but can take his place in a starting lineup that has Luke Mewett in goal. The back four expected to be Ben Hurd at right back, Josh Bryan at left back, and the two centre backs Harvey Gardner and Chris Gosling. Two wide players on the right hand side, David Ogbonna, and on the left-hand side, Jesuek Jagdev. In central midfield, Isaac Pedro. And that one change, no Brandy Makuendi this afternoon. Paul Symes comes in for his first start of the season in central midfield. And then up front, Luke Geimer, who will be supporting Sam Fanian. On the bench, Kit Brown, Ben Wayman, Nathan Fuma, Pius Muatardis and Dane Batt, as the Hertford team just come out in front of us here, as Simon is about to take a picture of the donuts and put it for you on Twitter. Don't forget, if you want to know what's happening with all our other clubs and also some little video highlights from this one, then get across to 90 Minutes EHR Twitter, where it will all be on there. So for Harlow, one change as well. They make just one change from the team that lost 3-2 home to Chipstead on Tuesday night. So they'll start with Rob Budd, Chris Bourne, Jack McQueen, Tristan Francois Vermeil, who is that one change, Hugo Atkinson, Ross Elton, who likewise got sent off in midweek, but obviously his band also starts next week, Marcus Marku, Cyrus Gordon, Warren Kayembe, Christian Giamphi and Luhru Menga as the starting lineup for Harlow. They've only got 4 substitutes: Jake Nicholas, Anthony Papadopoulos, Dylan Gordon and Kone Haziz. And to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, our referees Harry Tarrant and his assistants Darren Knox and Callum Dorling this afternoon. As obligingly the teams take to the field and obligingly the sun comes out on us here. Hertford in their familiar blue shirts, white sleeves and blue shirts, and Harlow Town this afternoon all in red. Decent crowd at the park for this one in what's been a real stop-start season, because this amazingly, despite the fact we're midway almost into October, is Hertford's first home league game of the season. They've only appeared here once. That was in the FA Cup when they put up that really good performance against Malvern and Tiptree. They're unlucky to go out the competition by losing by 1-0. As far as Harlow are concerned, well, they've had a little more action because they had a better run in the FA Cup. Beat Enfield and Sporting Bengal before coming unstuck in a local derby against Waltham Abbey. And they've had 3 league games, beat FC Romania 2-0 in their first one, but have lost the subsequent 2. 1-0 against Tooting and Mitcham, as I was saying, 3-2 at home to Chipstead on Tuesday night. To be fair, though, they have got a pretty big injury crisis, so as befitting the 4 subs on the bench, the squad really very much down to the bare bones for their manager David Collis, who took over in January. A host of new signings they brought in during the summer period as well, having been 14th when it all came to a stop at the end of last season. Their away record at the time, they'd won 4, drawn 1 and lost 9, but they did win all 3 games between the two teams last season. One here, one on their home ground twice as well. Once in the Velocity Trophy, where Hertford won't want to remember that one. They lost 6-2. So the two skippers in the centre circle. Isaac Pedro there for the Blues. We, of course, will have the thoughts of Ben Hurd after this one on 90 minutes. Available from 7 o'clock on Monday evening. And our guest will be Ware striker Liam Hope, who's on the bench this afternoon. And some interesting team selections for Ware. A few questions being asked as well amongst the locals around here. Why do Ware and Hertford play at home on the same Saturday? Well, that's one that only the Isthmian League know the answer to. But you'd imagine that both clubs would profit if they were kept apart somewhat. But we'll have a look anyway. Hertford have done the usual with the numbers because Isaac Pedro is going to be out there wearing 6. And I think Chris Symes is going to be... Paul Symes, rather, is going to be wearing number 8. So wouldn't be Hartingford Berry Park at the start of the game. It a little chop and a change in the numbers, would it? So we've got the traditional chop and change in the numbers. Harlow haven't got a goalkeeper at the moment because Rob Budd is taking his time getting in the goal away to our right-hand side. So Harlow kicking from right to left as we begin this one here. Few of their fans, as you can hear behind us. I'm sure the Hertford fans, certainly in the second half, will get going at the Sable End. Bright sunshine, Hartingford Berry Park for Isthmian League football. Who needs $14.99? That's been the big talk on social media, hasn't it? Get out, see a football match, have a couple of drinks, and still have a few bob in your pocket. Well, that's what non-league football's all about. Hertford about to get us underway then as our referee Harry Tarrant checks with both his assistants. And Sam Funnian will put the ball back to Paul Symes. And away we go here at Hartingford Berry Park. Ben Hurd in possession, right-hand side of the field. Finds Jagdev. Jagdev inside for Symes. Symes just trying to lay the ball forward for Isaac Pedro, but Pedro didn't make the move. And the Harlow's first action of the afternoon will be to take a throw-in. Also knowing that Harlow have done a number with their numbers as well, because they've got a number 17 out there, which is interesting inclusion, because everybody else has got 1 to 11. So we'll try and tell you what that relates to and who's not out there with a conventional number on their back. But such are the whys and wherefores of being a press man covering non-league football. As ball back with Harvey Gardner, and Ben Hurd will find Gardner just to the right-hand side of his 18-yard box. Back in for Luke Mewett. Mewett far side for Chris Gosling. Forward is... right, okay, it does appear, we'll get it confirmed, that 17 there is Kone Haziz, or it may be Tristan Francois Vermeil. We're not quite sure. But he's playing at left back wherever he is. Apologies to that Harlow fans, as David Ogbonna gets brought down on that far side by a man with the right number on his back, Chris Bourne. Hertford take the free kick very quickly. Here's Ben Hurd. Thought about the shot. Finds Jagdev. Ball across the box. Bounces onto the edge of the area. Isaac Pedro hits it. And in the end, it thumps off Hugo Atkinson and goes out for a throw-in. Opportunity very early on for Hertford there. Isaac Pedro didn't score many. He certainly got hold of that one. So, ball out on the far side. Chris Bourne is going to take the throw-in. Interesting character. He's had plenty of league football. Got 25 international caps for Guyana as well, the Harlow right fullback. Pushes it down the line. Up goes Symes, but Pedro will have it. Threads it out on this near side for Ben Hurd. Forward for Fanian. Fanian's touch, though, is a poor one, and Budd will clear, but his clearance equally poor as it lands midway inside his own half and gives Hertford a throw. It's Fanian. Takes it at, looked like handball twice there, but Jagdev manages to win the ball back for Hertford. Pedro will find Symes. This has been a good start by the home side. Bryant coming forward, left-hand side. It's got David Ogbonna outside him. Ogbonna against Bourne. Is Bryant now taking it up. Bryant gets it across. Fanian controls it. Shot comes in. Good save by the goalkeeper. Jagdev can't hit the rebound. Paul Symes' shot. Well saved by Rob Budd. So a very enterprising start by the home side. 3 minutes in, and they've had 2 opportunities already. Well, we know how they took the game to Morgan and Tiptree in the FA Cup. They're doing exactly the same here to Harlow Town in the early stages of this one. Bud restarts from the goal away to our right-hand side. The ball heads down, and in the end it's Ben Hurd who manages to get it clear to Jagdev. His control isn't good though, and Harlow will have a throw-in to be taken on this near side of the field. It's Hugo Atkinson, former Hertford player of course, who will take the throw down the line off the head of Isaac Pedro. And continue in the Essex Junior Cup. Roydon are 2-0 up against Brentwood United. So Roydon, our adopted side in East Herts radio territory. Sure, a few Harlow fans might be interested as well, just down the road from you, of course. Over that perilous level crossing. Throw comes in from Atkinson, and Ben Hurd, spectacular overhead kick, manages to get it clear. Fanayan shows good strength to wrestle away the defender, and in the end he wins a free kick to Jagdev. Jagdev to Ben Hurd. Fanayan's got it again, a former Reading youngster finds Jagdev. Isaac Pedro to Ben Hurd. Patient possession football, long ball, looking to search out O'Bonnor on that far side. Bourne's the defender. O'Bonnor does well to keep it in. Here is David O'Bonnor. David O'Bonnor goes round Bourne. David O'Bonnor fires in the shot, and Bud saves it at his near post. Another opportunity for the home side. Good footwork by O'Bonnor. He's been absolutely outstanding at the beginning of this season. He ran to Mitcham Ragged in the league win there, and started off well again, the former Barnet youth player. Header comes in on that far side from Menga, but can't really get a touch on the ball. And that goes for Harlow, really, although Cyrus Gordon's got it now. Gordon looking down the line, and that's a decent serve by Giamphi. Giamphi's in the box here, but it's Harvey Gardner who gets in the way. Good run by the number 10, but in the end his finish was poor. As Symes finds Bryant on the edge of his own 18-yard box for Luke Geimer. Picks up Isaac Pedro. Pedro for Bryant again, and Ben Hurd's got some space to move into on this side of the field. Ben Hurd goes across the halfway line. He's got Jagdev outside him. Jagdev fancies a run at his defender. Well, when doesn't he? Push the ball back for Ben Hurd to the edge of the area for Fanayan. Fanayan for Isaac Pedro. Back for Ben Hurd on this right-hand side. Ben, I thought he was going to take a first-time cross, but in the end he's been pressured on this near side of the field by Marcus Marcoux. But in the end he manages to get a free kick for Hertford. So it's going to be Ben Hurd who's going to take the free kick for the home side on this near side of the field. First chance from dead ball situation. Chris Godling and Harvey Gardner making their way into the box. As Ben will take this one with the right foot. Harlow have kept 2 forward. Hertford 3 back. So Ben Hurd, hands on the hips, waits for the referee to get in position before taking this free kick with the right boot all the way along the ground to the near post. Geimer went down in the area, and it was a waste in the end, and they've got defending to do here, and that defending is done very well by David O'Bonnor against Warren KMB. O'Bonnor, it didn't look like a left winger there. Certainly a short bit of defending by the number of 11, or Hertford could have been in trouble. Didn't quite know what that corner was all about. I think Ben had been working on it in training, but needs a little more work, I'd suggest. Throw in to be taken once again by Atkinson on this near side of the field. So you can expect a long one into the box. Giamphi's on the edge of the 6-yard box. That's where it's aimed, but Ben Hurd manages to get it partially away. O'Bonnor gets it away from Cyrus Gordon, but in the end it's Chris Bourne who'll thump it back to his goalkeeper Rob Budd. Budd dribbles it to outside his 18-yard box. Long kick forward on that far side, brought down by Giamphi, but Bryant was in quickly, and Bryant's being held back. And the Hertford will get themselves they'll get themselves a throw in, and Giamphi then has pushed out on Isaac Pedro, and I think it's going to be a guard in the offing here. Christian Giamfi, there was no need to do that at all. And Pedro just hit the deck. 3 Harlow players around the referee. Perhaps not a card. Let's have a look and see what Mr. Tarrant's going to do here. As Giamfi will certainly show the colour of his shirt for a moment, but he's being waved away by our referee with nothing more than the warning. So 8 minutes gone here at Harlingford Berry Park. Good afternoon, you've just joined us on 90 Minutes Live in association with East Herts Radio, covering East Herts football as we do every Saturday, and plenty of Tuesdays along the way as well. Forward by Paul Symes, 0-0. But Hertford have had the better of the possession and had the better of the chances so far. Bryant back for Chris Gosling. Gosling for Harvey Gardner deep inside his own half. Brings up Symes again. Symes ball forward onto the halfway line where Fanny adds. My first look at him, and he's always making himself available as the big number 9. Does well there to win the ball back and finds Isaac Pedro. Pedro coming forward. He's got Jagdev out to the right hand side here. Bonner's made his way round about the penalty spot. Here's Luke Geimer. Geimer for Jagdev. Jagdev's going to tee up the shot. Takes a deflection off Jack McQueen and goes behind for the first corner of the afternoon. Stable end finds a voice. And the Harlow have got some defending to be done here. Not quite sure who's going to take it at the moment. I think it's going to be Luke Geimer. Normally would expect him to take him in this kind of position. At the moment, Hertford have only got 2 players in team. In fact, they've got 1 player in the penalty area here, who is Jagdev, who's not the tallest. This is going to be one of those runs from deep. They're all going to come from about 40 yards out here. And I think there's Harlow supporters behind me saying, what's happening here? And, well, I do wonder whether David Collis' team will be thinking the same. Jagdev, the shortest player on the Hertford team, is the only man in the box here. Harlow have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders inside that 18-yard box. And they wait for it, because as soon as Luke Geimer hits that ball, here comes the big rush. Geimer's corner going across, up goes Symes, can't get it, and the ball lands finally with Cyrus Gordon, who's the man who manages to get it clear. Gordon looking for Mark Hugh on that far side. He's gone round Bryant. Giamfi's in the area. Hartford could be in trouble here. Giamfi surely was offside, but here is Giamfi. A great defending again by David Ogbonna. Ogbonna gets his team out of trouble. Harlow broke. I think the one saving grace for Hertford was that there was just a little bit too much hang on that cross. Giamfi had to wait for it to come down, and in waiting for it to come down, he allowed Ogbonna to get back and thump it away for a corner. So corner at one end gives way to a corner at the other end. Corner be taken on this near side by Jack McQueen. McQueen waiting to see what's happening. This time a bit more conventional what's happening in the box. A little bit of Strictly Come Dancing to be precise. Referee Tarrant blows the whistle. Corner comes in. Ben Hurd heads it away on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's Marquis for Harlow. Lets it run all the way out for a throw-in. Chris Bourne will take the throw-in on that far side of the field. So not using Atkinson with a long throw. This time it's Bourne who's going to take it to the edge of the area. Bryant can't get the header in. Giamfi can, but Mewett collects it very comfortably on the edge of his 6-yard box. Down the line for Ben Hurd. Hurd for Jagdev. Jagdev's ball rather spins off his boots and is pounced on by Ross Elsom. He finds long ball forward by McQueen. Onto the head of Ben Hurd. Up goes Jagdev against Cyrus Gordon. Jagdev manages to get the ball down. Sharp footwork for the number 7, but Elsom will thump it back towards the Hertford half. Scrappy passage of play, and Ogbonna's beaten to it by Chris Bourne, and Marquis will chip it towards Giamfi on that far side, but Bryant's in the way and puts it back to Luke Mewett. Mewett, not the best of kicks, hits the bin just the other side of the Harlow dugout and goes for a throw-in to the visitors, which Chris Bourne will take. They've got a tough game coming up Tuesday night, home against Hanwell, who went top of the table and in midweek, and then they've got Barking away in the FA Trophy. And Hertford will be on their travels down by the Kent coast. Faversham United is the destination next Saturday for Ben Hurd's team. Bryant being pushed back by a referee, Mr. Tarrant, to round about midway inside his own half. Guymer offers himself and then loses the ball to Marku Giampfi as the ball ricochets around on the edge of that area, but will go back in Harlow territory now. Long kick forward by Atkinson, searching out Giampfi. Bryant is the defender. Giampfi pulls the ball back in by Elsom and out at the near post by Chris Gosling. Cyrus Gordon's control lets him down and allows Luke Guymer to clear on that far side. It was all Hertford in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. Feeling the visitors beginning to get to grips with things here. As McQueen finds Elsom, who finds Bourne on that far side. Challenge comes in from Paul Symes. Harlow will have a throw in. Stable End maybe sensing their team needs just a little bit of a lift as Giampfi puts the ball across the box to Menga. Menga can't get it on his right foot though, and in the end it's Hertford who will clear, only as far as Bryant on that far side, who's hemmed in down by the corner flag. Short ball to Guymer. Guymer still got Marku in front of him. Got a goal coming in. Hertford United reserves 1, Wellington City under 23s 0. That's in the Hearts Senior County League. Thanks to Simon for that one. As Elsom has it inside the centre circle. Ball out on that far side for Giampfi. Dangerous character, Harlow's top scorer, but Bryant's in the way that time. Bryant chips it down the line, looking for Ogbonna, but he's given it away to Elsom. In fact, couldn't keep the ball in. It's going to be a throw-in on that far side to Harlow. Well, first 7 or 8 minutes, Harlow couldn't get out of their half. The last 5 or 6 minutes, Hertford are having trouble getting out of theirs. As Chris Bourne prepares to take the throw-in on that far side of the field, the number 2. Bourne looking for a bit of movement. Looking for the head of Menga. It goes over his head. Giampfi can't control it. Ricochets off over at Pedro and out by Ben Hurd. Back in by Elsom. And good save by Luke Newitt. Had to keep his eye on it. And in the end, former Huddersfield goalkeeper did well. Ben Hurd for Jagdev. Jagdev back down the line for Isaac Pedro. You get feeling Hertford needs just a little bit of possession here. And that's exactly what they're getting at the moment. Chris Gosling looking for some movement. Chips it forward. Fanian can't get hold of it though, and Harlow will get it clear. Jack McQueen back into his penalty area for Budd. Long kick forward onto the head of Harvey Gardner. But nobody at home as far as Hertford are concerned, and Bourne will control it. Ogbonna arrives, but Bourne does well. Cyrus Gordon can't get it away from Jagdev, who impeded him, and Harlow will have themselves a free kick. That 10 yards inside the Hertford half. The much travelled Cyrus Gordon, his second spell with Harlow after a brief stop down the road with Cheshunt. Elsom to the edge of the area, onto the head of Gardner, down by Giampfi, but it's going to be cleared by Isaac Pedro. Looks for Ogbonna, can't do too much more than head it on. Bourne's clearance is a poor one, and Fanian will strike on it and bring Guymer coming forward. Jagdev's got space down the right hand side here for Hertford. Here is Jagdev going towards the area, drifts to the right of the defenders, tries to pull it back, puts the ball in the end on the far post, and it's Bourne who heads it out. And Ogbonna, will he let it run? No, he won't. Ogbonna keeps it in. Going to let it run for the corner. But Ogbonna's in that confident mood these days. He thinks he can beat anybody. As Ogbonna brings in Guymer. Guymer's ball along the ground for Sam Fanian. Fanian back for Luke Guymer. Guymer into the area. Fanian again. Puts the ball back for Symes. Symes for Guymer. Nice triangles by Hertford, but it's not getting them any further forward. Ben Hurd finds Guymer on that far side again. Hurd to Guymer to Hurd. Good possession. 15-20 passes perhaps as Guymer brings in Fanian, who finds Ben Hurd going forward now. And Isaac Pedro was in a good position, but it's his former teammate Hugo Atkinson who got in the way and puts it behind for a corner. Patient build-up. Almost had a result then, if Atkinson hadn't read that. So Bryant's going to take the corner. on that far side. Bonner's been pushed back by Harvey Gardner, probably because of the stout defending he's done so far. But corner's been taken short to Ben Hurd, who's got Marcoux all over him. Far side, Bryant still got Marcoux there, and shouts for it's a foul or handball, but it's going to be a resultant free kick. Marcoux rather petulantly throws the ball away, but Hertford will have a free kick, which Ben Hurd will take. Right down by the corner flag, far side of the field, Cyrus Gordon is providing a one-man wall at the moment. As Harlow have pulled everybody back to midway inside the Hertford half. Giamphy is the most advanced attacker, and Luke Mewitt's almost in the centre circle. As Ben Hurd will take this kick. In swing up with the right boot. Fanian's in good amount of space here on the edge of the area. But referee is just lecturing Cyrus Gordon at the moment. But Ben Hurd will prepare to take the free kick from that far side of the field. Lofted to the back post. Up goes Pedro and Jack McQueen. And Pedro was thought to be leaning just a little bit too heavily on the defender. And Harlow will get themselves a free kick. 19 minutes gone here on 90 Minutes Live with me, Peter Hill, in association with East Arts Radio. Glad you can join us on a Saturday that's shown nice little bit of sunshine and is now showing a nice bit of autumn chill and overcast skies. Rain was forecast. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a bit during this first half. Symes chips it forwards onto the head of Bourne, who'd come over onto this near side, but Jagdev brings it down to planet Earth, but it's Harlow who will come away with it. Marcoux lost the ball though. Jagdev, his fellow number 7, gets it back. Here is Jagdev to Guymer. Guymer brings in Isaac Pedro. Under challenge, manages to pick out Chris Gosling. It's a round of applause from Harvey Gardner. On that far side, Josh Bryant will bring in Paul Symes on the halfway line for Hertford. Symes back for Harvey Gardner. Gardner for his central defensive partner, Chris Gosling. Gosling's got Ben Hurd calling for it on this near side. That's where it goes. Ben brings it down nicely. He's got Jagdev outside him. Thought about the first time cross, couldn't get there. And in the end, it was Giamphy who's back doing the defending, and the Hertford have their third corner of the afternoon. And taken on this near side of the field. Jagdev's going to take it short again, looking for Guymer. The referee wasn't ready, so Hertford will have to do it all again on this near side of the field. More conventional build-up. They've got 3, 4, 5 players in the box this time, so we're not having the late run. As corner's going to come in on this near side of the field. Jagdev with the corner in front of the stable end, all the way along the ground. Ben Hurd can't get hold of it. Harvey Gardner has though. Jagdev another chance to tee up the cross, but he finds Guymer. Guymer chicks it in for Ben Hurd. Ben's cross going for the far post. Symes can't catch up with it. He's there with Cyrus Gordon, and Gordon will bring it away for Harlow. Symes gets the boot in. Harlow get a throw in. So dead ball delivery, not been all it could have been so far. Probably on both sides actually. Harlow will have a throw in, which Chris Bourne will take right in front of their dugout on that far side of the field. Other step 4 action today, of course. We're at home to Uxbridge. Interesting team selection there. And Welwyn Garden City at Tame United. That's providing that the Worms don't get in the way, of course, as Ben Hurd brings the ball forward here for Hertford. Across the halfway line. Finds Jagdev. Jagdev turns inside, away from the challenge by Marcoux, which would have been a foul, but Fanian steps on the ball and gives it away. Ross Eltham's clearance, looking for Giamphy, but Harvey Gardner's header was a good one. Ben Hurd turns it forward for Fanian. Fanian thunders into a challenge and the ball breaks for Jagdev. Here is Sam Fanian, right hand side. Ball though is fairly easily won in the end by Harlow and put onto the halfway line, where Chris Gosling gives Harvey Gardner some work to do against Giamphy, and Ben Hurd sorts it all out, finding Paul Symes. Symes finds Hurd on the halfway line. Symes over that left-hand side brings in the teenage fullback Josh Bryant, and see Ware have taken the lead against Uxbridge. And 26 minutes in, Dan Rumans, the goal scorer. So Isaac Pedro's away here for Hertford. In the box is Fanian going down under challenge from Atkinson. The stable end won a penalty. Mr. Tarrant is not impressed. So Dan Rumans scores his second Ware goal. Doesn't score many, but he's given Paul Hall's team the lead there. Looking for another win, of course, after that opening day disappointment against Staines, but bouncing back with wins at Bedfont and one we heard here on 90 Minutes Live last week against Chalfont. And looking for another one this afternoon against Uxbridge, as Harvey Gardner on this near side brings in Ben Hurd. Forward for Luke Geimer on the halfway line. Geimer finds Hurd again. Jagdev beaten to the ball, but a little bit of wrestling with it, and in the end it's Ross Elsom who gets it clear. Looking for Menga, who provides quite a physical presence up there, but hasn't really been able to use it so far. And Hertford have got themselves a free kick. 24 minutes in, 0-0 here. Just about even as far as possession's concerned. But Hertford have had the better opportunities, I think. Bud's forced to make a couple of saves, but both of those inside the opening 10 minutes. A much more even game since then. Geimer finds Bryant on that far side. Bryant back for Chris Gosling. And Royden 3-2 to Brentwood United now in the Essex Junior Cup. 3 goals in 4 minutes piling in there. So plenty of action in that one. No goals so far in this one as Jagdev picks the ball up for Hertford. Back into his own half for Harvey Gardner. Harvey onto the right boot. Looks to send Jagdev going down the line here. He's got Jagdev in, but racing across. Good defending by Atkinson. And in the end it comes off Jagdev and goes behind for a goal kick. Much to the displeasure of the stable end, but I think, to be fair, Mr. Tarrant got that one just about right. Don't know what you're doing, I say, at the end away to our right-hand side, but Ben Hurd just having a little word with the referee. I tell you, it's Oddiston 0, Woodford Town 1 in the FA Vars at Lowfield. Woodford Town bottom of the Essex Senior League, of course, without a win all season. That's 1-0 up against Hoddesdon Town. Hoddesdon, though, scored in every game so far this season and scored plenty of well, so plenty of time for Simon Riddle's team to get back in that one. His throw lands onto the head of Giamphi, but it's Bryant who turns it back to his goalkeeper Luke Mewett. Mewett, right-footed downfield, not the best of kicks, but it spins off Elsom's head and into the Harlow half, where Jack McQueen wears 3 but plays centre-back, will pick it up. McQueen chips it forward. Bryant, just about gets there ahead of a KMB who we haven't really seen. He's one with local connections, was at Ware for a brief period of time. Was Warren KMB. And this near side is Jagdev. Jagdev had his shirt pulled, but still manages to maintain possession. Looks for Geimer, but in the end it was all a bit too intricate. And Harlow will get the ball away. One thing you can do, though, is play intricate football these days on this pitch, which it's got to be said he's looking immaculate again here at the park. Chris Gosling heads it down, looking for Isaac Pedro, who got push in the back from Marcus Marcoux. And there's a Harlow player now on that far side. I mean, mentioned Warren Kiembe, he's the one that's gone down, actually, so not sure what situation is there, but physio's going to be needed to have a little bit of a look at him. Not good for Welling Garden City under-23s. Now, I've seen it candidly. They lost at home to Hertford United last week, and they're 3-0 down to Hertford United reserves this week. So very much mix and match for them, though. The first team are away, of course, at Tame United, which means they will have taken a few players there, I'm sure, that might well have found themselves playing for the under-23s this afternoon. Full programme of action there. Plenty of cup action in the Hertford District League as well. A few of the teams involved. Hertford Heath as well are involved today, of course, as well in the Hart Senior County League. Thanks to them for giving us a few mentions on Twitter recently. And don't forget, if you want to catch up with all the local sport and what's happening in East Herts territory, then 90 minutes available on Monday evening, right here where you're listening to this on 90 Minutes Breaker, with myself and my buddy Simon Alamandi, who's doing sterling work, updating us on the scores and updating Twitter for us on 90 Minutes Live this afternoon. So it doesn't look like KMB's going to be able to take any further part in this, so Harlow are going to be forced into an early substitution. And I'll tell you who that is in a couple of moments. In fact, it looks like very difficult to see that board from here. I think it could be 16. It could be Kone Aziz, but we'll wait for the initial PA announcement here. I can tell you in the hockey, it's been a good day for Hertford's hockey team. They lost last week, but they've won 7-2 against St Albans Thirds this afternoon. Good stuff. We'll have Nick Bentley on our programme on Monday week, the chairman of Hertford Hockey Club. No one's announced the substitution, so we'll tell you what's gone on with it when they do. But meanwhile, Hertford are going to restart with a free kick taken by Ben Hurd, headed out towards the halfway line where Symes is there with Cyrus Gordon, who shrugs him aside. And on that far side, he brings in the substitute, who's in fact number 15, Dylan Gordon. So Dylan Gordon, who's more of a midfield player, which I think means that Menger is going to be the player who's going to go up alongside Giampfi up front. But it looks like Gordon fitting in on the right-hand side of midfield. So they've been telling us here it's Aziz who's actually come on wearing 15, despite the fact Dylan Gordon had number 17 on the team sheet. So there we go. Sorted it out in the end, though. Martin Tyler never has problems like this, does he? But that's non-league football for you. But, so it is Aziz Kone who's come on for Harlow. Thanks to the Harlow fans away to our left who corrected that one for us. Ben Hurd goes in, wins the ball well for Hertford. Finds Jagdev on this near side. Hurd gets it back again. Finds Luke Geimer, right-hand side touchline. Elson is the defender. Inside for Fanyan, looks for Jagdev. Jagdev back for Luke Geimer. Geimer turning. But in the end, it's Ross Elson who gets a foot in, but Hertford still in possession. Paul Symes for Josh Bryant on that far side. Haven't seen much of a Bonner the last 5 or 10 minutes, and he goes down under challenge there from Kone, but referee says nothing doing, and Menger has shrugged aside Chris Gosling, but in the end there's an untidy pile of bodies, and it results in a free kick to Ware. Uxbridge have equalised in the 33rd minute mark. Trying to read the writing here, but I got you. Mark Bitmead is the goal scorer. Thank you, Simon. For Uxbridge, Dan Rumans gave Ware the lead, 1-1 there at Wadson Park. Mark Bitmead, a renowned goal scorer at this level. Not too sure he didn't score a goal against Ware last season, in fact. But on the halfway line is Isaac Pedro. He tries to bring in Luke Geimer, but all goes away, and Kone Aziz on that far side will put the ball out for a throw into Hertford, which Gosling rather strongly back to Bryant, who can't control it. Symes does a decent job of getting himself involved and winning his side a free kick. Here's Harvey Gardner. Gardner onto the halfway line for Fanian. Finds Ben Hurd on this near side. Hurd down the line for Jagdev. Jagdev turns inside, looks for Geimer, but can't collect it, and Atkinson will find McQueen. Just not working those 1-2s at the moment as far as Hertford are concerned, but Chris Bourne's given it away to Ogbonna. That could be costly as Ogbonna's going down the left-hand touchline. Good tackle coming in from McQueen. Puts the ball out for a throw-in to Hertford. Josh Bryant will collect it. Some ominous-looking black clouds behind him As Bryant takes the throw, finds Fanian on the edge of the area. Fanian showing good strength again, the number 9. Chips it for Ben Hurd, midway inside the Harlow half. Hurd forward, collects it from Fanian again. Here's Bryant. Bryant's cross is a decent one. Goalkeeper flapped and missed it, but it went across everybody, and Jagdev will keep it in on this near side. Jagdev trying to cause more problems for Rob Budd, who certainly won't want an action replay of that cross. Left with a note mark, gone flapping there. The goalkeeper didn't get anywhere near it at all. Hertford are going to have a throw in on this near side, which Ben Hurd will take. Ben has got Paul Symes coming short, got Fanian coming short as well. Ben gets it back from his number 9. Looking to put it down the line. Here's Fanian. Fanian turns backwards, gets on the right boot, finds Ben Hurd again, finds Jagdev. Jagdev turns away from Elson, brings in Paul Symes. Symes had a chance for the shot, does fire in the shot. It's a low one, no power behind it, and Marku gets it clear for Harlow. Ball will break on that far side for Kone Aziz, the substitute. Long ball for Chris Poor. Hewitt wasn't quite sure for a minute he'd come, but was lucky the ball bounced off Gianfi's head and didn't give him a problem. As forward come Hertford, end-to-end stuff here at the park. Ben Hurd flips it inside for Fanian. Fanian away from one player, can't get away from Marku, but the ball's going to break for Luke Geimer. Geimer has got a Bonner on that far side. He chooses to pick out Bryant, brings in Symes. Symes brings in Isaac Pedro. Pedro's got Ben Hurd in plenty of space on this right-hand side. Ben Hurd onto the right boot. Ben's giving it away. And the Harlow should clear their lines, but Cyrus Gordon's made a mess of it. And Hurd will get it back for Hertford. It's Geimer. Geimer for Josh Bryant. Bryant forwards, got a Bonner outside him, goes inside for Geimer. Geimer turns away from Elson. Fanian turns away from Atkinson. Fanian shows good strength. Here's Geimer. Ben Hurd, right hand side of the box, pulls it across, but Atkinson had got himself back in a good position and in the end defends it well. And with the ricochet, gets Harlow a throw in. 10 minutes before the break here. Hardingford Berry Park, 90 minutes live, no goals so far. Only other goals from our teams. In the FA Vars, Hoddesdon are a goal down to Woodford Town. We're at 1-1 with Uxbridge, where's goal coming from Dan Rumans. And as far as we know, Tame United 0, Welling Garden City 0 in the Southern League Division 1 Central. Josh Bryant coming forward for Hertford. For Gosling. Gosling to his right-hand side for Harvey Gardner. Gardner back for Gosling, still deep inside the Hertford half. Forward for Paul Symes with the orange boots. Symes back once again for Chris Gosling. Gosling chips it out on this near side for Ben Hurd, who's had plenty of space down this right-hand side, who's rather starved of Bonner of possession down the left. But Geimer picks it up, busy as ever. Puts the ball back for Harvey Gardner on the halfway line. Here's Luke Geimer again, down the line for Jagdev. Jagdev for Geimer, but easily sorted out by Elson, but Harlow have given it away again. And Geimer will bring in Fanian on the right-hand side of the box. Fanian against Atkinson. Fanian looks to muscle his way past Atkinson, and in the end it's thumped clear for a throw-in on this near side of the field. It's been a decent battle, that, between Sam Fanian and Hugo Atkinson. Throw's going to be taken by Ben Hurd, brings in Paul Symes, gives it back to his manager. Hurd for Jagdev. Ben Hurd will get it back again onto the left foot, brings in Fanian. Hurd to the edge of the area, but it's all a little bit too close and volleyed clear by Cyrus Gordon. Hertford will have it back with Josh Bryant, though. Bryant turns and pushes it back to Harvey Gardner. Gardner for Chris Gosling. Gosling looking for a bit of movement, finds Gardner again. Isaac Pedro gets a shout from Fanian, who drifted over to this right-hand side. Fanian moves inside, not got much help, and tries to set in Geimer, but all goes wrong, and one bounce takes it back to the goalkeeper Rob Budd. These things just not coming off well for either side, really. It was an enterprising beginning by Hertford, but we're really at stalemate here at 0-0. Rob Budds, highly travelled keeper, Canvey Island, Holbridge, Herne Bay, Brentwood amongst his former clubs as Ben Hurd goes up. And Kone Aziz loses out, but Geimer loses out to Elsom. But here on the halfway line is Fanian. Thought he was pushed by Atkinson, but referee not interested as Jagdev picks it up for Hertford. Finds Ben Hurd. Hurd for Isaac Pedro, who has to rush to get away from Cyrus Gordon and does well. Ben Hurd then gets bundled to the ground by the more experienced man. And the Hertford have themselves a free kick midway inside their own half. Ben Hurd for Geimer. Geimer back for Harvey Gardner on the edge of his area for Chris Gosling. One thing they've got two centre-backs, Hertford, in players that are very comfortable with the ball at their feet, as Chris Gosling demonstrates by coming forward here. Finds Jagdev. Ben Hurd on the overlap. Ogbonna's come into a centre-forward position here. Here is Jagdev, though, in the area. Jagdev still going. Oh, he's pulled down, surely. It's got to be a penalty, and it is. Ross Elton was the defender. Jagdev showing quick feet, and referee Mr. Tarrant points to the spot. Well, it was a good move. Ben Hurd on the overlap. Jagdev again showing those quick feet, which are causing defenders problems. And Hertford have got the perfect opportunity to go in front here with 6 minutes to go before the break. Sam Fanian has put the ball on the spot. The number 9, former Reading youth player, looking for his first Hertford goal. Well, Rob Budd stands here between him and opening his account. Referee Tarrant clears the box. Budd sways from right to left. Fanian looks at the referee. Referee walks from right to left, making sure everybody's out of the box. Here we go. Sam Fanian against Rob Budd. Fanian looks down, does that little stutter step and puts it to the goalkeeper's right and put Hertford in front. Stable End erupts in the cheers and Hertford go in front. 39 minutes of the first half gone and Sam Fanian scores his first goal for his new club from the penalty spot. Jagdev the architect, Elsom the villain, and Fanian the finisher. It's Hertford 1, Harlow 0. Wow. The Stable End are happy with that. Well, it's been a pretty even game, but when you look at chances, Hertford have certainly looked the most likely when they've got in the opposing penalty area. And they lead here by a goal to 0. Led last year, of course, at Harlow, and the corresponding away fixture until very late. So did have a habit last year of conceding late goals, but here I think they'll be happy with their work so far as we approach the last 5 minutes and a half here. And the Hertford lead Harlow 1-0. Long ball forwards. Menga, who's played a peripheral part in this game, I would say, the big number 11. Not able to get hold of the ball, and Hertford have got themselves another free kick. Chris Gosling will leave the ball for Mewett. It was Gosling, of course, who started that move, but ended in the penalty. Luke Mewett will take the free kick right on the edge of his 18-yard box as black clouds have gone away and the sun's come out again. Sun shining on the home side at the moment. They lead 1-0. As Cyrus Gordon chips it forward on that far side to the dangerous Gyamfi. Gyamfi against Josh Bryant. Gyamfi's crossed to the far post, but overcooks it. But tell you, Ware have gone 2-1 down now against Uxbridge. So work to be done there, certainly. John Joe Bates has got the goal for Uxbridge. So the Red Army 2-1 up the Watson Park here at Hardingford Berry Park. It's the Blue Army who are in front. Hertford lead Harlow by a goal to 0. Disappointment for Ware, who went 1 up, 3 down Romans. So got a feeling we might be able to hear Wolsey's half-time team talk from here as Mewett restarts, brings in Ben Hurd on this right-hand side. Ben just moves away from Kone Aziz and puts it back into the area for Mewett, whose side football towards Harvey Gardner gets it all wrong and it goes out for a throw-in to the Hawks. They're taken on this near side of the field. Down the line onto the head of Ben Hurd is Jagdev. Jagdev, though, is shrugged aside by Menga. Menga's cross into the area. A header comes in from Gyamfi, but never really got anything behind it, and Muick can watch it go tamely past the post and out for a goal kick. 3 minutes to go before the break here. Hertford lead by a goal to nil. 39th minute penalty from Sam Fanian after Jagdev was pulled down in the box by Ross Elson. Ball breaks on that far side of the field. McQueen tries to get there ahead of Ogbonna, but in fact the ball will go out before either of them reach it. That's going to be a throw in to Harlow, which Chris Bourne, the number 2, will take. Bourne looking for some movement. In the end, gives it back to his goalkeeper Bud, whose control didn't look all that good. Managed to sky it towards the halfway line, bounce it off a couple of heads, and will break to Menga, and then for Marku on that far side, who's got Kony Aziz, the substitute, in, but goes away for an offside decision. The half-time, Tame United 0, Wellington City 0, reading here in the Southern League Division 1 Central. Cracker of a game. I was at the game last season that they played down there. Wellington City went 2 up, then conceded 2 goals in the last 15 minutes of what was a cracking encounter, must be said. Very friendly club out there in Oxfordshire. Bud's got the ball for Harlow inside his 18-yard area, and we're in the last minute of the first half here. Sun comes out again, and the locals, well, they'll be pretty happy over the half-time cuppa, you would think. The side lead here by a goal to nil. Long kick forward onto the head of Josh Bryant. Geimer brings in Bryant again. Bryant along the line looking for Ogbonna, but can't find him. And Harlow a chance to come back with Gyamfi, but Paul Symes, who's done some tidy work in midfield in this first half, threads the ball out. It goes for a throw-in, which Chris Bourne, the right back, will take. Bourne being waved back to the appropriate spot by referee Harry Tarrant. Bourne's throw in to the edge of the area. Bryant can't get there. There's Gyamfi in the area, but in the end he can't control it, and Chris Gosling will let it roll out for a goal kick. Luke Muick then will take the goal kick. Hertford lad, of course, found himself signed by Huddersfield, and played a lot of his football in the Northern Premier League before finding himself wanting a club. And Hertford were wanting a goalkeeper, so it fitted perfectly between them. As back inside his own half for Ben Hurd. Forward, looking for the on-running Geimer, but Atkinson does well. Skies it on this side. Here's Menga. But Harvey Gardner, well, certainly there looks a little bit of a touch of handball about it. The referee's not going to be interested in entering into a debate, though, because he's going to sound the half-time whistle. So half-time at Ardingford Park at Hertford 1, Harlow 0. Goal coming after 39 minutes. Jagdev pulled down in the area by Ross Elson. And then with Sam Fanian to bury his first Hertford goal to the goalkeeper's right. That's where we stand there at half-time. Go grab yourself a cuppa and a little bit of a half-time break. And I'll be back with you here on 90 Minutes Live in about 15 minutes for full uninterrupted coverage of the second half of Hertford Town against Harlow here at Hartingford Park.